Hey everyone, it's Jason, and this is your weekend cruise news update. And we have a major dining announcement from Princess Cruises that I really hope other cruise lines adopt. And if you're going on this celebrity ship, I personally would be a little nervous. So, cruise story number one, and this one's upsetting. It's actually bothered me all day long when I thought about it. And there's been new information that has come out in the past 12 hours on it, and it's actually even worse. So a 29-year-old woman, and we're not going to call her a mother because she isn't, left her 8-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter alone so she could go on a cruise. Now she lives in Houston, Texas, and flew from Houston to Miami, Florida to get on this cruise. She left on April 4th and got back on the 10th, almost a week, and left her 6 and 8-year-old children. She set up a webcam so she could monitor them and gave her 8-year-old son a phone and said text her if he needed anything and to watch out for his 6-year-old sister. It's unbelievable. Well, information that's come out is, a lot of people have speculated, well, maybe this woman just couldn't afford it. Like, they're trying to figure out why she would do this. Maybe she couldn't afford it. That's why she, didn't take her children. Also, why wouldn't you go out of Galveston? There's just so many question marks. Well, she does live in a high-rise luxury apartments. I looked it up. Where the minimum apartment is $2,600 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 500 square foot apartment. It goes all the way to $8,000. So them not being able to afford it, or her not being able to afford taking her kids, probably not there. She just didn't want to. And the thing that I thought was the most telling about this whole story and it didn't make a lot of sense, was the neighbors called the authorities. They said she never took her kids with her. So they did a welfare check, and they found the home in disarray. And there was the smell of urine. So, obviously, there was no adult supervision there at all. But I thought, well, that was really interesting that the neighbors noticed this. Well, it was brought up in her bond hearing, which was set at $25,000, that there's allegations that she's done this before. And that's why the bond was set so high at $25,000. So she has a history of this. It's unbelievable that someone would do this. Leave your children, fly to go on a cruise so you can enjoy that single life away from your kids. It's unbelievable. And poor kids. I just feel so bad for them. 6 and 8-year-old. They are with their aunt, and in part of the hearing, she is to have no communication with her children. She will actually be in court, I believe, April 17th again. So I may update if we get any more information on that. But just a terrible story there. So cruise story number 2, should you be concerned if you have a Celebrity Summit cruise coming up? So if you're not aware, the Celebrity Summit in 2 out of the last 3 weeks has had multiple issues. Power outages, water outages, and AC issues. On April 4th, when they were going towards Nassau, they said the ship totally lost power and they were adrift for some time. People had to be rescued out of elevators. Multiple posts on Cruise Critic, Reddit, Facebook. It's all over the place. Well, hopefully they'd had that issue fixed. But 2 days ago, they were in Key West and they said the ship lost power again for about 45 minutes. No one could even disembark the ship because all the security systems were down. Now, what's even more concerning is this cruise ship is supposed to leave from Miami and do a repositioning cruise to LA, 14 days, here coming up soon, because they're headed to do their Alaska season for this summer. What will Celebrity Cruises do? Do they have this issue resolved? Be interesting to see, because there is a big shipyard in the Bahamas. Be interesting to see in the next week or two if they decide to go to the Bahamas, if they can't get these issues resolved. Do you have a Celebrity Summit cruise booked? And if you do, are you aware of these issues? So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video, as it does help the channel grow. Also, consider subscribing, as we're on the path to 100,000 subscribers by the time we go to Alaska at the end of August. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. So cruise story number 3, and I'm excited about this one because it's a pet peeve of mine. So Princess Cruises announced a major dining room change. So what they're going to do is they're going to have 3 categories in their main dining rooms for dinner. They're going to have traditional, like they've always had. Then they're now going to have reservations, so where you make reservations for that dining room. And now they're going to have walk-ins, which I consider anytime dining. Thank you so much, Princess, for going back to this. I have to tell you, when I heard what they were doing on the Sun Princess, I was wondering if this was going to roll out throughout the whole fleet. And it is. It's very exciting. I love the fact that I don't know what I'm going to do on a Thursday. And I don't know if I want to eat at 5:30 or 7:30. And that's why I hate making reservations. Now, I totally understand people that go, hey, I have to eat at 6:30 every night. I have kids. That's when we eat. Totally understandable. And I understand those that like traditional dining. I just don't like the times. That's why I like Celebrity, the Blue, because you can go anytime and still have your same waiters. That's a very neat thing. I enjoy that. But I love the fact that I can go at any time now. And hey, if there's a little bit of a wait, I completely understand. I remember they used to hand you, we went on our first cruise on the Grand Princess, they used to hand you these little pagers and you can go and walk around and shop. And they would hit you up with the little pager. It would go off and you knew to come back. Maybe they can do it through the app. They could do a push notification telling you your table's ready. That might be something they do. So what is going to happen is if you have a cruise booked after September 14th, they're going to cancel any reservations that you currently have booked. Only for the main dining room, not for any of the specialty dining rooms. Or specialty restaurants, excuse me. But June 17th, they're going to open those reservations back up and allow you to book them through the app. So if you're listening, Royal Caribbean, understand this is the direction you need to go. I don't understand. And I know a lot of people are going, well, Jayson, they have anytime dining. Well, they do. But when you go to book or you go to look at it, it says, while reservations are not required, they're highly recommended. And you almost need to do them. Because I've waited a long time in many lines because I didn't have reservations. I think this is a great thing through the industry. I love that they're pushing it back. That's what I loved about Princess Cruises when we first started cruising, and I'm so excited they're bringing this back. Do you like walk-in or anytime dining? And are you excited about this announcement? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. It means the world to me. It really does. And until I talk to you next week, happy cruising.